Hey everyone, today I want to speak to you about procrastination and why you're maybe not actually procrastinating and how you can resolve it and what perspectives you can take on your supposed procrastination and how it all relates to unhealthy productivity and all these good things. I know it's going to get a little bit philosophical, so let's just jump in. I will try to be not as metaphysical as I sometimes tend to be, but give you examples as well. And I hope that this can give you some interesting perspectives about how we beat ourselves up about procrastination sometimes unduly and why we shouldn't do it and how we can resolve that. So I don't want to say let's kill the word procrastination entirely. But what I want to say is that I think it has been used in so many contexts nowadays, in so many negative contexts, that it has taken on a connotation that is really problematic to a lot of people and is not conducive to actually figuring out how to be less procrastinating. So let me explain what I mean by that. Oftentimes, we think about procrastination as something that we have to beat, something that is our enemy, something that is, in the way of things. It stands in the way of success. It stands in the way of finding something that you want to find, like a relationship, or you are procrastinating on taxes, you are procrastinating on finding an apartment, you're procrastinating on finding another job, or even just procrastinating on doing a task at work. And then we start feeling like, oh, procrastination is a bad thing, and it's something that we have to root out and get rid of so that we can be 100% productive all the time. Now, I'm aware that the people who make articles or videos about rooting out procrastination or beating procrastination oftentimes don't mean to say that you have to be productive 100% of the time. But still, I think we should be aware that this concept, unhealthy concept, I should say, of productivity that is prevalent nowadays in capitalism and in our society is not conducive to us being healthy and feeling aligned and feeling connected and feeling good about ourselves. Now, the first thing I want to talk about here is not being productive is not inherently procrastination. Even if you have something to do, like I have to do my taxes, I really do, but I haven't, then you not doing it every waking moment is not you procrastinating on it. Because taking time to rest or taking time to process or taking the time to wait until you're in a better mindset is not procrastination necessarily. It can mean that you have some resistance to it and that you will never be in the right mindset and you just have to force yourself. But if you start seeing it as procrastination, it becomes this bubble of things where you feel like, oh, I'm procrastinating. I'm a bad person now. So it's being used so uncomfortably often nowadays, this word, procrastination, that I feel like it reduces a number of emotions, circumstances, and psychological complexities down into a really meaningless word. Because there are so many reasons that you could be procrastinating or that you could not be doing a task without being procrastinating, or that you are not productive without procrastinating. So I think sometimes we are missing that nuance, as so often in nowadays society, that not every time you're not productive or not every time a task takes you 3 weeks to complete, you are necessarily procrastinating and you're a bad person, you're not productive. So I think what is important is not, am I procrastinating? Am I not procrastinating? I think it's much more helpful and much more healthy to just think, why am I not completing this task? Or why am I not doing this thing? Like, am I procrastinating or am I just resting? Because there are things in my life that take up energy. Because many times, we have projects as adults that aren't our single focus. Maybe you have children, maybe you also have a full-time job, and maybe you also run a YouTube channel. Now, would you say that if you are not uploading a video or not editing a video you already shot like 5 weeks ago, if you aren't editing and uploading it, are you procrastinating on it? Or are you just busy with the fact that you have a full-time job and kids as well? You know what I mean? So I think sometimes it takes a little bit more nuance and being more gentle with ourselves to understand that it's not truly procrastination, and to not let like pseudo psychologists tell us, oh, you're procrastinating, you have some resistance to it. Maybe your life is just really busy. You know what I mean? So then you get on another level where you don't feel like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm procrastinating on editing this video. You get onto a level where it's like, I need rest as well. I'm a human being. I have a job. I have children. I don't have to be productive all the time. I hope my shirt wasn't knocking the microphone the whole time. Anyways, so yes, I think that is important to see. Sometimes you're just busy with other things. That doesn't mean you are necessarily procrastinating on something. Because I feel often, when someone goes to a counselor or goes to a psychologist and they say, man, I have this passion project. I have this creative project that I want to do, but I'm really procrastinating on it and I don't know why. And then you ask the person what their days look like, and it's 6 hours of office work, then taking care of the children the rest of the day, obviously also having to do shopping and cleaning, depending on what situation they are in, what living situation. And it's like, well, no shit that you're not sitting there for 5 hours on a weekend and investing time in your passion project if you have that much other stuff on your plate. So it's unfair, I think. It's unfair that we put this idea into people's heads that they are procrastinating. I think it can be a helpful concept, but I think it can also be damaging. If we tell people who are goddamn busy in their lives and have full-time jobs, and we tell them you are procrastinating on your taxes, or you are procrastinating on your passion project, or you are procrastinating on finding a new job that is in alignment with you. It's not that easy. You have to make space. If you have a project like this, you have to make space in your life in order to be able to complete it. You can't just add it on top of everything else in your life, then not do it inevitably because you are so busy in your life, and then feel like, oh, I'm procrastinating. That's not helpful, and it's not realistic. So I think there are many reasons why you could say you are procrastinating. Either you don't have the time, or, which of course is also an option, you do have some sort of resistance to it. And because you have a resistance to doing the thing, you also don't set aside the time to actually do it. Let's say you are procrastinating, and let's say you are delaying a task, whether that is consciously or subconsciously. Think about why that is. And if the answer is literally, I don't have time for it, I really don't, then accept that answer and think how you can set time aside for it, how you can carve out time for it. But it could also be self-doubt. It could be the fact that you think you can't fulfill the task as perfectly as you want to, or you are afraid of actually successfully completing it, that passion project, for example, and expanding into a different person that you are a little bit scared of. This is like shadow work around success or around making money. Or maybe perfectionism is just keeping you from starting. Or are you afraid of having an added burden in your life that this project represents? All of these things can be a reason for procrastination. So sit down and be honest with yourself rather than getting into this loop of engaging with content about procrastination and just making yourself feel bad about it. Making yourself feel like, yeah, I am procrastinating and I'm lazy and this isn't good and I have to force myself to do it. Be more realistic and be more nuanced in your analysis of your life and the thoughts you have about procrastination and about the projects that you are tackling. So what I'm saying is, don't see every single blip, every single void in your work ethic as procrastination. We are not creatures who are meant to work full time all the time, because we also need rest and we need to recuperate and we need to think things through and we need to get into the right energy to do certain things. And sometimes calling it procrastination simplifies it to a degree that is just not helpful, and that just makes people feel lazy or bad about themselves. And that is essentially what I wanted to kind of attack with this video, and make sure that if you feel like you are procrastinating, or if you are thinking about what's going on in your life, why you are not doing certain tasks, that you take a nuanced look at it and not just get in this loop of feeling bad about yourself and beating yourself up for procrastinating, supposedly. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. Let me know what you think. I hope that I was able to bring across my point, and that it was in some way inspiring or helpful or gave you some things. I could do some journaling prompts about this as well if you want to. Let me know if you're interested in that. And yes, thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram as well if you would like to. Subscribe to me if you want more videos like this. And I look forward to seeing you again in my domain. Thank you so much for watching.